Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Sir Thomas More, and today we get to hear from Roper in what some versions call Act 4, Scene 4, what other versions call Act 4, Scene 5, and yesterday we were in Act 4, Scene 1 / Act 4, Scene 2, so there is a little bit of catching up that we need to do, or maybe it was 4-2 and 4-3. Anyway, there's a scene that we need to fill each other in on. But before we get there, it's important to remember that Sir Thomas More has resigned his position as the Lord Chancellor because the King had sent some documents, which we're pretty sure was the Oath of Supremacy, but it's never actually said what's in the documents. But the Bishop of Rochester didn't want to sign it, so it has to be the documentation that has to do with Henry VIII wanting to dissolve or annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, I believe was that one. Or it could be the Oath of Supremacy, because when he created the church, there was this oath that people were supposed to take, saying that he was the supreme leader of both church and state. Anyway, the Bishop of Rochester didn't want to sign it, and he got arrested, and Sir Thomas More didn't want to sign it, and then he resigned his post, and he was told that he has to go home to Chelsea. So he went home to Chelsea, and his whole family was very concerned about him, but then he showed up, and he's like, hey, everything's great, and I resigned, and now I just get to be home. Isn't this wonderful? And that was the last scene that we were in, the family still being fairly concerned for him. The scene that we need to recap on, what some call Act 4, Scene 3, what others call Act 4, Scene 4, is a scene where we check in with the Bishop of Rochester, who has been arrested, and he still refuses to sign these documents from the king, which, again, we can guess what they are, but we're never actually told what they are. But he doesn't want to sign them, so he is actually being taken off to jail, and he's talking to Surrey and Shrewsbury, who are like, we'll do our best to get you out of jail. And he's like, no worries, I'm off. I'm going to jail, so long, farewell. I hope that I will see you again. And that's basically what that scene is. So this scene that we're in, what some versions call Act 4, Scene 4, others call Act 4, Scene 5, we're back at Chelsea with the Moores. And it doesn't necessarily say that it's breakfast, but it just has the feel of like the family coming together over breakfast. Maybe it was over dinner or something like that. But Lady More and Roper's wife, who remember is Sir Thomas More's daughter, Roper being the son-in-law, are all together, and More is still being very positive about the whole situation. He's like, everybody sit down and let's talk, and isn't this great, and we just get to live in this simple home, and isn't it lovely, and we get to live this wonderful, humble life. And Lady More is like, yeah, but we're not allowed to go to court anymore, and that's not a good thing, because going to court was a social thing, and it showed your status in society and all that. And Sir Thomas More kind of tells her to be quiet. He's like, be still and enjoy the humbleness of what we have and the fact that we have anything left. And Roper pipes up and says, good sir, be still yourself. But remember how in this general court of short-lived pleasure, the world, creation is the ample food that is digested in the maw of time. If man himself be subject to such ruin, how shall his garment then, or the loose points that tie respect unto this awful place, avoid destruction? Most honored father-in-law, the blood you have bequeathed these several hearts to nourish your posterity stands firm, and as with joy you let us first arise, so with like hearts will lock preferment's eyes. So what he's saying is, it's all well and good that you resigned your position, and it's great that you don't want to be in court anymore, but we're all tied to you as well. So anything that happens to you, anything that happens to your reputation, falls on us. So yay that you had a daughter who could carry on your name, but if your name is going to become this shameful thing, then your daughter is going to be carrying the shame of that for the rest of her life, and me by extension, because I'm married to her, and all of that sort of thing. So he's saying, we're a family unit. Whatever happens to you happens to all of us. And of course Sir Thomas More is going to have a rebuttal to that, and we will hear it tomorrow in tomorrow's monologue. I'll see you then. Mwah.